Hi again, everyone. This week I'm going to talk a little bit about how CBT can help to boost your behaviour. And this programme is one that's in the Silver Cloud programme. And so when you've finished listening to me, you can look in the Silver Cloud programme and find out a little bit more about the same topic. So many people are telling me that they're beginning to feel less and less motivated to be active and to keep their mood up as this pandemic continues. And this is including younger people as well as the older ones amongst us. And it can be really difficult for some of us to keep motivated when life is normal. But right now, things are even tougher for a lot of us. And so keeping motivated is tricky. So one of the common ways that people respond to feeling low or lacking in motivation is that they stop doing things. So they may struggle to complete simple everyday tasks that they once did. But now people are finding that everyday things are a bit like a chore. So when we feel low or unmotivated like this, we get caught up in what we call in CBT as a cycle of inactivity. And a lot of CBT is based around this idea of cycles, where our thinking affects what we do. And we've showed you before, your thinking affects how you feel, then how you feel affects how you behave. And this is exactly the same thing with the cycle of inactivity. Now, Becca's going to put a cycle of inactivity up for us on the screen. And this example I'm going to show you is of somebody that has been inactive for a while, okay? They felt unmotivated, they're inactive, and they started to notice that they were feeling breathless. So this cycle shows you what happens, same as the thinking, feeling, behavior cycle. So she noticed this lady that she started feeling breathless, okay? And so you can see the cycle that started to develop. They call it a vicious cycle because it looks like there's no way out of it. So she started to feel breathless and she started avoiding activities which made her feel breathless. So she didn't really want to walk to the shop anymore. She started to drive. She didn't walk around the lake anymore because she was feeling breathless. And her muscles have started to become weaker. And you can see this in the cycle. So weak muscles use more oxygen and they're less efficient, which means that you start to feel breathless. So the whole effect of feeling breathless and not doing anything is a vicious cycle. But the good news is that you can break this cycle of inactivity that I've showed you. So by becoming more active, you can make your muscles stronger, including your breathing muscles, so your lungs, okay? And this will help you feel less out of breath. And Becca's going to put up another slide for us now straight away on the positive cycle of activity. So we've looked at the negative cycle of inactivity, and this is the positive cycle of activity, so the complete opposite. So you do more activity to help your breathlessness. So when you feel anxious or worried that, oh God, I'm breathless, I'm not very fit, you move your muscles and they become stronger. And your muscles use oxygen and they work more efficiently. So you feel less breathless and you start to feel better. And then you're motivated to continue being active, okay? And this is the key thing. And the key thing to this positive cycle of activity is that it proves one big thing, that motivation comes after activity. Motivation doesn't come first, it comes after activity. It sounds really strange when you hear that, but if you try it out for yourself, you will see that it works this way around. So once you start doing something, then you feel better and you're motivated to continue. So don't spend ages trying to motivate yourself to do something, okay? The trick is to do something just to get started, and then the motivation will build by itself. So the key to get going on this is to take action even when you don't feel like it, or especially if you don't feel like it. Getting active forces you to interrupt your low mood thinking or your stuck thinking about not having enough energy to do things. If you don't feel like doing anything, then you decide you won't bother. But persevere to overcome this way of thinking, okay? So the first two things I'd say are, don't make decisions on how you feel now. Example, I feel tired and I need to stay in the warm. Make a decision on how you want to feel. So I want to feel more hopeful, so I'll push myself to go out for a walk. Thinking and acting against your thoughts and beliefs is the key. If you keep telling yourself you don't feel like doing things, then your body responds and you won't want to move. Becca's going to put a little slide up for us now, which is a super simple slide, and it just basically says the body achieves what the mind believes. If you even print one of these out and keep it up on your wall, or find one in images on Google, because it tells you that whatever you tell yourself in your mind, your body responds, okay? So if we tell ourselves a fact that we know that activity helps us feel better, then our body will respond to that. Now, Becca's just going to put another slide up, and this slide is going to tell us what we know already about activity. So we already know activity helps you feel better. It's a no-brainer. Activity can help distract you from thinking the same thoughts over and over because it gives your mind a focus. Activity gives us a sense of achievement. So doing things, even little things at a time, can help give you a sense that you're moving forward and taking some control of your life. Activity gives you energy as well, because physical tiredness is a symptom of sort of low mood thinking. So when you're sitting and sleeping too much, you start to feel down and you don't feel refreshed. So as soon as you start moving, you just get some more energy. And activity also helps you think more clearly. And beginning an activity can break through the fog of depressed thinking. It gives you a different perspective. But knowing all those things about activity and doing things about it are two different things. So we may know how great activity is for us, but actually getting up off our chairs, getting outside is different. So how can we think and act against these limiting thoughts that keep us stuck indoors or not doing anything? And we want to be able to reap the benefits of activity. So what I've done and what I've found from my research personally and from what's in the Silver Cloud program is the recommendation is start doing things now. Don't put things off or wait until you feel better, because you could be waiting a long time to feel better. Your whole mindset about the pandemic or how you feel the weather's bad, it's November, there's so many negative thinking patterns in our TFB cycle in CBT that will make us feel low. So start doing things now. Another option is to reward yourself. So maybe you do something and you just reward yourself for engaging in activity. Even something like getting something nice to eat or getting a new book or magazine, anything that inspires us to do more activity. Some people like to schedule activities, so they set time aside each day, and that makes you more likely that will boost your activity level. And do things that are within your reach before you build up to bigger things. So start small. One of my favorites, again, use the 5-minute rule. So start a task by telling yourself it's only for 5 minutes. And you may find you want to keep going after this time. So you started small, 5 minutes is small, okay? So once you've been doing a task for 5 minutes, it'll be easier to keep going. And if not, then at least you've tried and then completed 5 minutes of the task. Another good thing to do is identify some of the danger zones around getting active, and recognise things that may cause you to fall back into your cycle of activity that I just showed you. So, for an example, you may be less willing to take action at certain times of the day. Some people aren't morning people, and that's okay. Morning people, if you're watching, take action in the afternoon or evening. So if you're crap at getting up in the morning, you can't wake up easily, you need coffee before you get going, then do your activity later on in the day when you're at your best. Just work with your physiology and your mental sort of mindset, really. And another good one to notice, guys, is if you ruminate. So rumination, or like overthinking basically, is the enemy of becoming more active in life. So rumination is when you turn the same thoughts about problems over and over again in your head and you do nothing about it. All you're doing is spending time thinking and no activity is going on. And that only means one thing, that the body's stagnant. So everything that you're feeling and thinking is dropping into your body and it's just not moving. So if you notice that you're overthinking and not doing anything, it's like living in glue, really. So it's really useful to do something to get your body moving, which will naturally change your thinking for a while. So if you're a ruminator, if you're overthinking, start to notice it and nip your habit in the bud. Do something small when you start to notice you're overthinking. Don't let that heavy weight of thinking hold you down. just do something small. You know, small stuff can even be walking up on stairs in your own house a few times, or making a drink, or just the tiniest things, but actually taking some action really shifts your mindset. Okay, so action is the first step, not motivation. So don't think I've got to be completely motivated, I've got to sign up for a half marathon, I've got to go walk around the lake 5 times. No, none of that. The first step is to just go outside, think, okay, I'm going to have a small walk today, and or use the 5-minute rule and just go out and do something for 5 minutes. But you don't have to do a lot. Becca's just going to put up the final slide now. So do something now. That's the key. Doing something now. Don't wait. Don't think, dream up some great plan of things that you're going to do and draw a massive schedule. Today I'm going to run, tomorrow I'm going to walk, the next day I'm going to knit, next day I'm just going to sort out all the albums and listen to them all again. The trouble with making schedules is that a lot of us don't stick to them. So if you can just do something small and get yourself moving, that would be really helpful. I really love to hear from anyone who's been inactive for a long time and who's been ruminating a lot and who's unable to break this cycle. If you want to respond to me in the comments, and I can send you some personal messages about how to help you overcome that. But if you use the Silver Cloud program, there are loads of other tips about overcoming rumination and being stuck and developing more sort of healthy habits, and it all helps to boost your behavior, which all helps to boost your mindset. Well, I hope that's been helpful today, and I'll probably talk about something similar next time. And if anybody's got any requests for anything that they'd like us to cover, any topic they'd like us to cover with the CBT, then please put that in the comments. Okay, well, have a good week, and I hope that you get out and do things. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Okay, bye.